welcome to Two Guys Garage. Now, no matter what it looks like, I'm not flying solo today. Willie's gonna go grab a 2013 Mustang right off the line. We got engine mods, some tuning, we're going on a dyno, suspension, the works. But you know what? That's not all. We've got a motorsports legend coming on in. You're gonna love it. I'm getting geeked up, and I know Willie is too, so stick around. Now, the plan today was to get that brand new Mustang in here and get it on the lift and sink our teeth into it. But instead, I got a call from motorsports legend, drag race hero, Big Daddy Don Garlitts.
How are you, Kevin?
Good, good, man. I'm glad you could come in the shop. I understand yours is full.
Yes,
so
it is.
What do you got going on in there that you needed to come in here and use ours?
Well, I got a 42 Ford down there completely apart, frame off, and the lift is busy. And I heard you guys had a great shop up here, and I got this 300C, my personal car, you know, but it's a little quiet.
Yeah, a little quiet?
Yeah, I got one of these MagnaFlow exhaust systems that kind of give it a nice little rumble, you know.
A little snarl, a little growl. Now, I'm guessing you don't have the V6 in here.
No, it's got a Hemi.
All right, full-on Hemi. All right,
It needs a breathing.
If you guys don't know, Don Garlitts has set more records than just about anybody I know in drag racing. He's pretty much elevated the sport to what it is. And you've made some significant contributions and changes along the way. And I know, like, back in the early 70s, you had a real shift in the way we go out and drag race and the top fuel. You had an accident and it spawned an epiphany and some engineering. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you know, we used to sit in back of the engine, feet over the rear end, beside the transmission and drivetrain. Anything went wrong, you know, it was really disastrous.
You're eating it in your face.
Yes.
And everywhere else.
So I lost part of my foot at Long Beach at one of these transmission explosions. In the hospital, I designed a rear engine car, debuted it in California in January of 1971. It won the Winter Nationals right off the bat, and U.S. Fuel and Gas Championships, and the rest is history. Everybody changed within 6 months. They were all in rear engine cars.
It's so awesome to have this guy in the shop. You know what? I'm really honored to be able to, you know, do some stuff on your car. It's a really sweet little ride, but like you said, it's really nice to hear that music.
That's it.
You know, it doesn't have to be obnoxious or loud, just has to be beautiful.
That's right.
All right, let's check out some of the goodies we got today from the MagnaFlow guys. All right, we got lots of shiny stuff in here. We've got a couple of mufflers. Why don't you grab that guy out of there? We'll lay
And you
these
notice
out.
it's all stainless, Kevin. I only like to do it once.
That's right. You do it once, it lasts forever, and it looks good the whole time.
Boy, look at this X-pipe.
Yep, so we've got an X-pipe coming in here, and inside it's a perforated X, so we get a little bit of that sound absorption, plus we get to, you know, match the pulses from side to side on the car, send them out the back. We got a couple of pipes.
Nice
got all our
diameter here,
brackets.
too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make that thing
Don't
flow.
want to choke that Hemi.
That's right. All right, let's get this thing up on the lift. Let's start pulling some of these parts down, and maybe Willie will come back and get to meet you before you take off. And this sucker is ready to drop down.
Boy, that is heavy.
All right, now we took the last bolts from the brackets instead of trying to wrestle with a pry bar and hold. Now I'll take this in if you want to work your way toward the front.
Dude,
Got it?
you are
Got
kidding.
it.
Don
Hey,
Garlitts.
how are you?
How are you, man? My name's Will. Don't worry about that. Let me do this for you.
Oh,
Here.
you're going to do?
Yeah, I'm the
Okay.
other two guys in Two Guys Garage.
Okay,
All right,
I'll
enough-
just watch.
Awesome to meet you. Yeah,
Enough
yeah.
gawking, because there's a lot of weight back here.
Yeah.
Get on up
Let me
there,
give you a
buddy.
hug, man.
Hey, it's great being
Dude,
here.
he's a drag racing legend.
He's
on
making
speed
me
records,
sweat. Making me
150.
sweat. All right, you ready?
There it goes. All right.
All right, let's set it off to the side.
Whew.
Whew, baby.
Dude,
All right.
you're like a hero of mine, man. It's an honor to be here. Speed records at 150, 160, 170, 200, 270. This guy, he would have had a 300, but Kenny Bernstein beat him about a month before.
We're always trying something new.
I know. Man, you know, I actually cried one time when Shirley Muldowney beat you. Yeah, look.
So did I. Let me tell you.
Wow, what an honor. All right, so Man, how you doing? 300? Doing a little exhaust here on it?
I've been 323 in the quarter. And at the end of that year, my wife said, "Oh man, did you enjoy those runs?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "Well, they were your last ones or you'll be living in the cabin."
Man, I gotta tell you, you inspired so much. You're the reason I was drag racing as a kid, man. It's just, I can't even believe I'm standing beside you right now. Kev,
You know
Don Garlitts.
what's cool is I went to school just north of his museum there in Ocala.
Yeah.
And, you know, freshman, sophomore in college, coming down to check out his museum, personal tour, inspiration, going through school to get the engineering degree, learn more about cars, racing, the whole bit. So it's been really cool to have me in his shop and then you in my shop.
Hang on, man. Let's take a picture.
I'm having a good time.
Kev, you do that.
Pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on.
All right, make it quick. All right, quit gawking. Quit gawking. Don's gonna call the cops,
Don
man. Let's get
Garlitts,
to
man.
work. We got a Mustang to go. Let's get this thing on. All right, man, let's go. Bring it.
Gosh, all right, all right.
All right. Pretty nice fit.
Well, gotta tell you, man, it turned out looking great and sounding awesome.
I tell you, I love it. You guys are fast.
Thanks, man.
Well, we had a lot of good help, a lot of good hands. Don, we appreciate you coming in, man. Sharing some of your stories. You've been an inspiration to both of us for all of our lives.
What an honor, man.
And hopefully the next generation too. So we had a blast, man. Anytime you need a hand at your shop, just let us know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, come up anytime.
Hey, we would love to. It'd be an honor for both of us, man. We appreciate you stopping by. Now you got a healthy sounding 300, so don't get pulled over. Don't get any tickets. We know your right foot is heavy.
It won't have 3,700 miles on it next time you guys see it.
Speaking of heavy foot, I did roll into that 2013 Mustang.
I heard it rumbling in, so you know what? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going knee deep in that baby.
All right.
This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by CRC Industries, makers of Brake Clean, the original aerosol brake parts cleaner.
All right, welcome back. Now we had a lot of fun with Don Garlitts.
This guy's just a hero of mine,
That was
as you
really
can tell.
cool. But we got more to do today. We got our 2013 Mustang, special delivery from Willie here.
Hey, man, I had a blast getting it here. You almost couldn't get me out of this car. This thing's wicked.
Well, I noticed that tire diameter got a little smaller since you picked it up.
You can appreciate a small tire, man.
Well, only when I'm the one making it smaller.
Yeah, all right. What do we got, man? Some new parts for a Mustang?
That's right. Well, there's a saying, you can't leave well enough alone.
Yes.
Well, we can't leave awesome enough alone.
You're right.
We're going to mess with this thing, tear the front end apart, and we got a bunch of goodies.
All right, what do we got here? Some sway bars, some rotors.
Now, these are from Sequence. This is their Sport Series Phantom.
Nice.
This is a nice rotor. Center split casting. It lets them get all the venting through the centers and breathing out. As you can see, they're drilled and slotted. We can clean the pads, we can get the heat out.
Yeah, they're double disc ground.
Yep, great surface for breaking in a pad. No squealing and all that stuff. So that'll be a great upgrade, as well as the new
Brake
hoses. Yep.
5 layers. Now we got these from Crown Performance. Now this is going to help against that volumetric expansion that you have when you're really riding the edge on the brakes. So none of that expansion in here. 5 layers as opposed to the 2 layers that you normally get. So this is going to help us out, keep that pedal from feeling mushy.
That's right. I mean, you can see kind of the factory hose. They're great, but when you're doing performance driving, the stiffness that you get out of a stainless line, and especially all the layers that are on there, you got a protective layer on the outside, you got the nylon on the inside and the stainless, super sharp piece.
Since we're up here at front, let's get into this. And while we tack it, we got some sway bars, some other fun stuff. Let's get after it, man.
Yup. And you know what's coming up later? A little bit of dyno action, some tuning, so we got a lot of fun going on today. We got our Crown Performance lines in, and you can see I'm using line wrenches. So that's going to give you the maximum bite on all your, your fittings and everything, so you don't round anything off. And we got our Sequence rotor, and what I really like about these is the black electro coating. So this is always going to look nice, inside, outside. So this is tip top for brakes. This is going to be a blast, but you know what? We got to move on to some of these suspension goodies. All right, man, looks like that rear is about ready to drop out.
Yeah,
Got the front sway bar.
Put that bad boy up.
Cool. Well, now I've got some really cool suspension parts from Granatelli Motorsports. And, you know, we got sway bars, we got rear control arms, and we're going to upgrade the performance of this car handling in the turns.
Yeah, right out of the gate, upgrading the sway bar is going to help us with that body roll, get us a better contact patch on the ground.
That's right.
It'll be a lot sweeter ride.
Yeah, the more the car flops over in the turns, the geometry of the tire goes the wrong way, and you lose that grip, you know, on the tire, so you can't make that corner as sharp.
Kev, one thing I noticed right out of the gate, the production sway bar only has room for one adjustment. This Granatelli Motorsports, you have room for 3 adjustments.
Yeah, and that's going to change the arm length, so your lever arm, because you got a spring in between, right? As you're leaning the car over, this spring is pushing on that outside tire to keep the body from rolling, right? So I can change the effective spring in my sway bar by the front, and then I can balance front to rear. So instead of the car pushing, which is kind of typical of a production car.
Yeah, and then you lift, right? When it's typically pushing, you lift, that weights the front tires, and by that, you roll on through the turn.
Yeah, your natural reaction is, you know, into panic mode, you're not making the turn. You let off the throttle, you give it a little brake, you get a little more grip, and you turn.
And then the opposite of that is that oversteer issue you have. When you let off the gas, it lightens up the front end, the car comes all the way around, you're doing donuts by accident.
Yeah, you lighten up the back end, right? So the tire comes around and you're in the ditch, which is bad.
Yeah.
So adjustability is great, so you can set a car up neutral. And if you make other changes like tires, springs, shocks, or whatever, it can change that sort of neutral, you know, drivability on the car, and you can always come back to your sway bars and dial it in.
Right, so a lot of adjustability with our Granatelli sway bar, and we got some other stuff here as well.
Yeah, so these are control arms. These are going to be much stiffer than the factory. We'll show you up here. Now, what's cool about these, you can see they've got grease fittings in there, so they got long service life. You can get in there and squirt them a little bit of lube.
And these are going to be a lot stiffer compared to the stamped ones that come from the factory. They're basically designed to absorb some of that gear noise and some of that vibration, so a little compromise.
Yeah, but that compromise is great because you're going to get a lot stiffer rear end. It's going to plant better in the corners and everywhere else, and it's going to eliminate a lot of that wheel hop that you can get in a factory soft bushing, soft control arm.
All right.
All right, we're going to get this Granatelli stuff in the car. Sooner the better. We're going to start having some fun.
Let's go drive it, man. Hey, welcome back. All right, we have something cool from Schumacher Electric. You're gonna love this. It's a battery maintainer and charger, 3 amp. It's called the SP3. This thing's pretty much bulletproof, Kev.
This is a cool little unit. It's got great construction.
Yeah.
It's super lightweight. You can throw it around. You can hang it on the wall. And what's nice about it, idiot proof. You know, for guys like us and anyone else,
Yeah.
you can see on here.
I have it hooked up backwards, and then actually tell you, hey, you hooked it up wrong.
Yeah, so you can't hurt the charger, you can't hurt your battery and all your great toys. You just flip the terminals around and then it starts its whole brain process.
Yep.
There's a microprocessor in there, 8 stages of charging. It keeps you tuned in the whole way. It lets you know when you're charged, what percentage, when it's ready to go have some fun.
It's got some ring adapters as well, so if you have something like a motorcycle or ATV, you can actually leave this connected to your bike and then just come in and hook it right up.
Yeah, you could have this little guy hanging right out of your grill on your hot rod, so you can just go in and click it. You never have to pop the hood, and you can even use it to a cigarette lighter. So it's a super versatile, simple, lightweight 3 amp charger. It's Schumacher Electric SP3 battery maintainer and extender. Now, you've seen us do a lot of hot rod builds with Monster Transmission.
Yeah.
We've been to their facility, we've shown you the insides and outs. We've had events with these guys, awesome stuff. They're great product, but you know what? They've come out with their handshake warranty.
Yeah, you gotta love that. These guys ship it anywhere in the country, build it
For
right
free.
here. Yeah,
Yep.
for free. And they road test every transmission they do. Now they're backing them all up with a handshake warranty. Right here, man, put it. No, do nothing with that.
Well, what that means is they're there for you the whole way through. When you want to spec out your trans, what you're going to put it behind, you know, how much torque, your converter specs, what gear ratios you run in the back, all that stuff. They're there to help spec it out and build it, but they want to make sure it gets in your car and it runs and has a good time.
You might make a boo-boo and not getting the torque converter in there all the way. They're there, get you a new one right out of the gate. From the soccer mom to the speed demon dad, Monster Transmission has got you covered.
That's right. Check them out. All right, next up from Airbestos, the premium chassis parts. Now, these are high-quality replacement ball joints. Now, if you're going to install ball joints, make sure you do them right or you're going to run into a lot of issues.
Yeah, like memory steer. It's the binding of the suspension components and the steering linkage where you turn right and your car keeps going right.
Now, a couple things you want to make sure you do. Clean that camber caster sleeve, pull it apart, clean it, reassemble it.
Make sure it moves freely after the reassemble.
That's right. Make sure you use the ball joint installation removal tool properly. It's a good way to mess things up and make sure you torque things properly as well.
And these are always available at Federated Auto Parts.
Yeah, they're Raybestos. They're professional grade chassis components. All right, next up from Green Earth Technologies, it's their G-Oil bio-based full synthetic motor oil.
Yeah, it's a natural synthetic, gives you superior performance. These guys are out there banging on the track all the time, so whether it's in your grandmother's grocery getter or your hot rod, your race car, this oil does it up.
Yeah, and it's the ultimate in biodegradability. It registers a 0 on the toxicity scale. And what's cool about it too, it's grown right here in America.
Reduces our dependence on foreign oil.
That's right, it's Green Earth Technologies. It's G-Oil, a bio-based full synthetic motor oil.
All right, you know what it's time to do now?
That's right.
Go do some hot rod runs on the dyno.
That's right, we got a little bit of parts changing on the engine. We got some tuning. This is gonna be one fun ride.
Okay, this week's tech tip is all about brake pads. All of us are guilty at one point in time or another just pad slapping a car and thinking we were good, right? Well, brake systems have become a lot more sophisticated, and you need to tune your brake system according to its application. The worldwide leader in OE and aftermarket friction is Federal Mogul. And about 10 years ago, they introduced Wagner Thermoquiet brake pads, which revolutionized the friction industry. Now they've done it again with the Wagner Thermoquiet Ceramic NXT. Let me show you a couple of the advancements that they've made. Okay, take the shim, for example. They've integrated the shim into this actual back plate, this plate right here. So they press this pad material through this plate, and it becomes the shim right back here. So anytime you alleviate another piece of metal, you alleviate the chance of that vibration, that noise, that chatter, and so forth. A couple other ways they've done it too. Just on visible inspection of the pad, you'll see these chamfered cuts in it. Now what these are designed to do is they'll actually put these pads on a rotor and measure the frequency, the noise that comes off of it, and cut each individual pad accordingly. So some great ways that Wagner Thermoquiet Ceramic NXT pads absorb that noise and absorb that vibration to make a quieter, smoother braking application. And remember, these Wagner brake pads available at Federated Auto Parts. All right, that's what I'm talking about. We have our 2013 Mustang. We're at Anti-Venom Dyno Shop. We're gonna do a handful of easy mods gonna make a big difference on the rear tire. We have a JLT intake system and a Diablo tuner. So we're barely gonna get our hands dirty, but we're gonna get about a good 20, 30 horsepower out of it. So stick around, this is gonna be a blast.
All right, now that we got a good baseline, differences between dyno to dyno, different days, different temperatures, all don't matter because we can just look at changes we've made today. Now, one of the changes we're going to make is a real simple, easy change. Now, the JLT Performance Kit we've got today, it's got a couple neat features. You can see this one's a carbon fiber look, which is really nice. It's going to look cool in here. It's got all the factory hookups. You know, for PCV, the sound composer, which the OE put in to actually pump some of those beautiful intake noises at the higher RPMs. We can hook all that up. And also what we're going to do is increase the diameter of the pipe. Now the stock one I think is about an 86 millimeter diameter. This one's about 112. So again, we can pick up a few ponies here as well as, you know, different mods down the road. We're already set up to just feed that air in. Now we're going to take the MAF sensor and we're going to put it in here. This is a one-piece construction, so there's no other little blob to put on there, which is nice. And it comes with a great air filter, nice radiuses on the inlet. You know, even got, you know, maximum use of air filter, let the air in there. So that's going to be an easy, 5-minute job. Then we can go in there and add the tune, really start having some fun.
All right, now you see how easy that was. Now to really make that mod come alive, we have a Diablo Sport N-Tune. Throw a couple tunes at it, really make it pop.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. Stick around.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show, check out speed.com or visit TwoGuysGarage.com. This segment of Two Guys Garage is brought to you by Condon Skelly Collector Vehicle Insurance. Condon Skelly, we insure your fun.
All right, welcome back. Now we've got our cold air intake kit in and we've swapped over our original MAF sensor. Now a MAF sensor can go into 100 different applications, but it has to be calibrated for the airflow, the losses, the diameter of the tube of the system that it's going in. So we're going to have to update this transfer function or calibration. And what's nice, we can take a simple device like this Diablo Sport Intune. It's a handheld controller, and we can go on a number of infinite lists of different combinations, pick that one, download it, and it'll automatically update that calibration and transfer function, and it'll already do things like adding spark, changing the air-fuel tables, shift points, speed points, so we can pick a tune and just download it and never have to get worried about picking up a laptop, messing something up. So it's real easy. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to hand this off to Willie, download this particular calibration, and start playing around and have some fun.
So like Kev was saying, it's really simple. You plug it into your OBD2 port, and you can change power, performance, drivability, all in the palm of your hand. Pulls up the vehicle's VIN number, and you have all the tunes that are available. The great thing about Diablo Sport Intune is they're constantly updating the tunes. So we see here, go through a bunch of the selections. We have JLT induction. That's the one that we want right there. And there we go, a 93 octane tune. We're gonna hit download. And it's that simple. So now it's downloading the original tune, then to put our new calibration in, and then we can trap this thing back down on the dyno, do another pull, and see what kind of gains we made. All right, Kev, what we get?
Oh, an easy 26 horsepower.
Easy it was,
Nice.
man. 26
I like
horsepower, very noticeable feel at the rear tires. You'll definitely like that at the pedal, too.
Yeah, it's as easy as downloading a song and getting to listen to it all day.
Loving that.
Yeah, well, thanks to JLT, we got the carbon fiber air inlet kit on there. You can get body color matching or OEM black. Super simple.
Yeah.
Thanks to MagnaFlow. Man, I had an awesome time with Don Garlitts.
We got to work on Don Garlitts' car and hang out and drive around with him.
Do a little drag runs, you know,
it's awesome.
really cool. So, all right, thanks to Venom for letting us come over here and play.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got to hit the streets. We got a
More
tuner where we
tunes.
can keep on playing, change our shift points, but you know what? We're out of time, so we got to go.
See you later.